If you are anything like me and had a pretty soggy Easter egg hunt yesterday, well, you got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state that we live in. Thanks for streaming along. Please go ahead and share this out, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And this week is going to be a major social media push, so follow along, will you? And again, if you could comment like crazy, because we love that. We absolutely love that here. So today is April Fool's Day. I could go on and on about how we're going to go woke here and how fake meat is the way and all that. Yeah, you see radio stations changing formats. Oh yeah, got me. I haven't seen that every 20 years. So my girlfriend did get me this morning. She had called and said her daughter's car was stolen, and I was just getting ready for some show stuff, some lighting and all that, and I was like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And she's like, no, the police are coming. It's fine. And I'm like, I know, but still, I mean, this is a pretty violating thing. You get your car stolen. It's violating. And she's like, no, the cops are. I'm like, no, listen, I'm on my way. I'll bring some coffee, some donuts, maybe try to brighten the morning up a little bit. And she's like, got you, April Fools. I'm like, you didn't get me. I mean, you got me. I mean, yeah, okay, I believed your ruse, but who says that? Ruse? How old am I? I got you got me in that regard, but all you did was expose how sweet I am. Ding. Yeah, because I am sweet as pie. Gotta tell you. But thanks for hanging out. Hope you had a good weekend. Weird, right? I don't remember the last time it came down like that on Easter Day, so it was a little interesting. Camping Chad out there with a solid performance on his smoker. Didn't let him didn't rain on his parade. And I got to see that people are just kind of doing their own thing, and I love that a lot of people didn't let the weather hold them back. I actually made deviled egg cupcakes. I know it sounds awful, right? But these are, y'all know me. I cook, and I saw this on Instagram. Duh. And the egg whites are the base of the cupcake, and the yellow yolky part is the top. You just swirl it around. My piping bag broke, my food processor broke, so I just had to just kind of spoon it on. It wasn't really cupcake-y. It wasn't very pretty. Let's just put it that way. But but I here's what happened. So I get back to the house, and it is just an absolute mess. I made Easter brunch like in record time. I made breakfast burritos for 10 people. I did those deviled egg cupcakes, and my place was an absolute mess. So I get home, I'm grumpy about it. I am a bear about it because I hate cleaning up. I hate cleaning up except for after hunts. Y'all know me, but I hate cleaning up. So especially when it comes to dishes. My mom yesterday claimed that that is the only reason why I learned to cook and love to cook is because in our house, the rule is if you cook, you don't clean. So if you don't cook, you better get in there and participate and clean. That's not the reason I learned how to cook. It's primarily because my sister didn't want to learn how to cook, so she taught me. That's basically what it was. But my mom, I was asked the other day if I went to preschool, and I'm like, I don't remember if I went to preschool. And if I ask my mom, she's just going to make up an answer. She's like, oh, yeah, you went to, yeah, sure. You went to preschool. No, I don't know. Yeah, same thing. Anyway, I get home, sink clogged. I go with the 2-basin sink, both sides clogged. And I'm like, oh, my goodness sakes. I've been in property management for a long time. We'll get to that in a minute, but I know how to fix a clog. This, I just couldn't. I'm going to have to go down there, pull out the P-trap, all that stuff. It's just going to be an absolute nightmare. But here's the deal. I went on Amazon, and after putting like 4 gallons of liquid plumber, Drano, anything I could throw at it, because everything was closed. So the only place I can go to was Walmart, and it was a disaster. But I get to I start unclogging the sink, trying to do my best, pouring all this stuff down there. Nothing's working. So I go on to Amazon. I order a snake, and the snake came this morning. And so I open it up, and what is it? It's just a bunch of stuff. Like, okay, I've not snaked before. So, okay. So I look for the directions. There's no directions. So I guess it's pretty self-explanatory. Just ram it down in there and see what happens. So I'll do that after the show. But it got me to thinking. This is the way we are as outdoors men and women. When it comes to fishing, when it comes to hunting, when it comes to our outdoor pursuits, there's a lot of thoughts, there's a lot of speculation, There's some how-tos, but not a exact manual. Follow these steps to success. Period. There's the only tried and true thing that you are going to find in hunting and fishing is going out and spending time on the water, going out, spending time in the desert, going out, spending time in the woods, up top, glassing, throwing baits, taking notes, and being very studious about it. That's the only one thing that there's essentially the instruction manual of our outdoor world here in Arizona. So what I'm going to do after the show is I'm going to grab a snake, I'm ram it down there, or just look on YouTube and see if I can find a video on how to use this dang thing. But that's the thing that I've learned in the outdoors and in 10 years of property management. And I wasn't a kid that grew up, wrenching with my dad or fixing things with my dad. It just wasn't a thing. I was out, playing baseball and golf and trying to just, not do those kinds of things because they seemed like chores. But when I got into property management, I didn't know how to do all these things. So I just decided to just start. And a lot of it was pre-YouTube. YouTube was around, but it wasn't as prevalent. Like, you can type anything into YouTube and find out how to do it now. But then I just had to start and make mistakes, figure it out, do a lot of cursing and a lot of bad words. And so I became really proficient at that. And that's the only reason why I can be proficient at hunting and proficient at fishing out here in Arizona, is that you just got to keep doing it. You just got to keep doing it. You just got to start with step one, go throw a bait. I don't care if it's a worm on a bobber, see if it works. It'd be funny seeing these, tournament anglers and stuff like that. If one's just out there on the bow of the boat, just with a with a bobber, just staring at it, just staring at the bobber on the water, just very peaceful. Man, the tournament's going. I know. Watch, a big lunker's gonna hit that thing. He pulls in a 10-pounder. That would be the coolest thing. That would be a big win for the everyman of the outdoor world. Is a tournament angler out there with a bobber on his line. Yeah. But anyway, it doesn't matter though. Here locally or wherever you're at, or you're on vacation or whatever, just try something. Take that first step in trying something, and what you'll do is you'll start to fine tune along the way. Essentially, it is when you start things like this, and especially pursuits like our outdoor world, you're basically rolling a square tire, the square wheel, right? And you just got to take that first thunk and let it fall. Then you got to thunk. And you keep doing that and wearing down those corners until it's just smooth as silk, just rolling down the hill. I know it's an analogy. I think it was what was that book? The Missing Piece. Was that it? Yes, I think the book was called The Missing Piece. But that's kind of the same thing. You're just gonna keep plop, keep going, and then go throw another bait, throw, and all the while keep that one off the side with the bobber. I'm not kidding. If I'm fishing in the evening and I'm not moving around, if I'm shore fishing, there is a catfish line. It's just sitting there, just on the bottom. Darn right there is. Heck yeah. What tried and true works? Yeah, chicken livers at the bottom of a lake works. Yeah, teeny weenies. Woo! Teeny weenies crush them. People not know that. Teeny weenies absolutely crushing for catfish, especially the one with the little smokies. That's what they're called, with the little cheddar in them. If I can't resist them, the fish can't resist them. And we live in theory, don't we? And everything in the outdoors is theory. It's just, it should work. No, I like it. How many times have you said that? Man, if I was a deer, that's where I'd be, right there. Boy, this area sure feels elky. Yeah, if I was an elk, I'd be. This is where I'd set up shop for sure. Woo, yeah. And I don't know if that's just us making ourselves feel better because we don't want to walk anymore, we don't want to hike anymore, or we don't want to get to that next ridge. Oh, because that's it, right? You get to the top of the ridge, you're like, oh, man, I bet they're over there. Yep, I bet they're right over there. And then you go all the way to the next ridge, and what do you see? Another ridge, which you think they're over there. Then you get your glass out on the top of the next ridge. You turn around to the last ridge. Guess what you see? Your target species. But hey, the weekend was rainy. It was. I hope you took advantage of it. I actually did not. I really didn't. I didn't do a lot. I forget who it was, and please forgive me. But one of y'all asked me about the solo stove. Said you've been looking at eyeballing it for a few months now. And to be honest, it was the Snoop Dogg campaign. That was brilliant. But ask about the solo stove. So a quick aside, last night I tried out the solo stove pellet attachment. So you put a grate down in the bottom, and then you pour pellets. The same thing you pour into the Green Mountain Grill. But I don't use the good stuff. I'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna use my cooking stuff for that. But I actually did last night a little bit because that's what I had and I wanted to try it. So I just filled the bottom of it with pellets, and I put a couple of Weber fire starters in the bottom, and then pop, 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 just lit them. Whoa. Okay. Game changed. Not fiddling around with wood, not fiddling around with, oh, move it this way, get it more air. It's got to be this. Oh, it didn't exactly light. I mean, it's just going, and it was pushing heat. I was amazed because it was windy and rainy last night, and I was warm. I was comfortable. I was out there and just like, I think I was wearing sweatpants and a t-shirt, and I was just right as rain. So yeah, that was really cool. But at least I took time to get outside. Yeah, rain doesn't scare me that much. So here's what I do hate, though. I do hate more than anything in the world: wet Levi jeans, or just jeans, wet jeans, and wet socks. If I have wet jeans and wet socks on, I look like, I don't know if cat owners, you know what I'm talking about. You, when you get a cat gets wet, it just gets tense in the back arches. That's exactly what I look like when I can't stand it. I was at Universal Studios years and years ago, and I went on the Jurassic Park ride and I had jeans on, and I just got soaked. And I told the family, you go that way. You go on rides. Go lunch. Go to another theme park. I don't care. Go home. I'm going to stand right here and find sunlight because it's cloudy and a little bit cold. And I'm just going to try to dry off. I was in the bathroom with the hand blower. Hate that feeling and have no idea where I was going with that, why I'm talking about wet jeans. But, oh, yeah, the rain doesn't scare me. So, yeah, and by the way, I've never fished in pants. Never. Not even like the cool AFCO fishing pants. Never fished in pants. It's like people that ski in jeans. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. It just does not compute. Don't care how cold it is. I've got board shorts on, and that's what I fish in. Yeah. Just the way it goes. So anyway, so the rain was great because I think a lot of people just stayed in. It's closer. It's just a better vibe for the weekend, especially on a family weekend like Easter weekend. Now is the time, though, because before we know it, we're in Arizona what we call false spring number 2. This is our second false spring, where it gets up to 80, 85 for a couple days, and we're like, yeah, it's on. It's spring. Here we go. And then it's in the 60s and rainy and gloomy, and whoa, where did winter show up? Why don't you go away, winter? And so we're in the spring, the fall spring. So that means spring's about to pop in. And in Arizona, we have about a week and a half of spring, and then it just shows up to 100-degree temps. So now is the time to get ready. So get in the garage, get in the man cave. It's time to make this happen. You all know me. For the last 11 years, my man cave and I have had a very on and off relationship, and it's been tumultuous. Tumultuous? Is that a word? Yeah, tumultuous. It's been, yeah, I'm gonna go with tumultuous. Mm-hmm. Coffee will fix it the other way. It's been a little tumultuous. A lot of it wins, I win, it wins, I win, and we're just kind of going back and forth. It's time to get after it again, because my jumping jack trailer has become a catch-all for all. Quite literally, I throw everything on top of that. It's a beautiful, wide open, flat surface, and I'll throw a Canyon cooler on there. I'll throw, I think there's a dog crate on there. I go to Costco, I come back, and I throw the paper towels and the toilet paper, those big giant. I throw that on top of the jumping jack. Everything's been on top of the jumping jack. It's time to rip all that stuff down, make sure it's all put away, make sure it's all tight and ready to go. And the only thing on top of the jumping jack is accessories for the jumping jack or my kayaks. So that is time to get in there and do that, because it's time to get ready for fishing season. The fishing season this is the toughest part for a lot of us, because this is where a lot of us really hide from our spouses, and we don't want them to see what we're doing. And not that get ready for fishing is something that you have to hide, because getting ready for angling season is something you should celebrate. It's something for fun. It's something for family. It's amazing thing to get ready for. But what we don't want the other half to see is how much we're throwing away from last year, because it's time. Unless you keep all of your fishing equipment in the house, and I mean secured somewhere in the house, where there's no perfumes, there's no nice things that are plugged into the wall, like those airwick kind of things. None of that. And it is secure and safe. Like in a safe, it's time to throw some things away. And I hate it because it exposes what I did how I over purchased last season. But it's just, it's a pill you're going to have to swallow if you want a better and more success season this season. Okay. And the first thing is to rip out the line out of all of your reels. That's a tough one, unless unless you just don't really get attached to the what is it, the emotional equity we have in a lot of our rods and reels. We're like, oh, I caught so many on that. Oh, you know, I'm just gonna keep it for this season, man. That's my good luck. That's my good luck braided line right there. No, it isn't. Throw it away. It's not. You probably didn't spool the entire spool last time. Probably about halvesies. So go ahead and throw it out. The same spool. Call that lucky. Do whatever you want. But here's the deal, and this is what I learned from Scooter Griffin from the Arizona Fishing Guides, is that over the summer, over over the winter months, and your garage. Think about all the things you've done in your garage. I mean, just me alone. The computer stand that's right in front of me right now, I made. I measured it out, I cut it, got everything stained, and I did the whole burn treatment on it, right? But I did that in my garage. So I was, got the Burns-O-Matic, and I was doing, making the wood grain pop, and it's really, really cool. My garage smelled like a burning forest for about 5 days. Do you know where my fishing poles are? In the burning forest. So that smoke inside that, everything attaches itself to that, to the monofilament line and the fluorocarbon and the baits. It just attaches to it. That's what it smells like. So you throw that underwater, the fish go, something's wrong. Why does that little shad that's coming in front of me right now, why does it smell like a burning forest? That's fishy. I'll keep the dad jokes to myself. Excuse me. There we go. This is why you just have to either think about a new strategy for storing your equipment, or you're just going to have to tear it out every year and just start new. So the good thing about the summer months and having your stuff outside in the garage is that you don't really do a lot of garage projects in the summertime because it's hotter than blue blazes. So there's not a lot of chemicals. You're not changing oil and things like that. It's just it's just sitting there. It's just good. So pull all that stuff out, get into your plastics, check out your plastics, and some plastics I have held on to. I have no idea. I have saltwater plastics in my backpack right now. I do. I have no idea why I haven't gotten rid of them. There's no attachment to it. I just forget what I paid for it, but it probably wasn't cheap. And so it's in there because, God forbid someone taps me on the shoulder and says, hey, we're going salt fishing today. We're going to jump on a boat in San Diego tomorrow. Let's go right now. And I go, oh, I can't because I got rid of my offshore tackle. Exactly. So no big deal. Get rid of it. Gone. Done. I remember when I was out dove hunting, there was a mishap where a guy was peppered. And if you don't know what peppered is in the outdoor world, peppered is you get basically struck by a shotgun fire. And it sounds right. I don't want to say you get shot. It's not really what it's about, but it's just like, ow. It doesn't feel good. And again, the statute of limitations is over, and my grandfather's been gone for years, so it's he's several times. I don't tell your mom. Okay. I'm in the shower and I hear click. Look down. Yep, it's pellet. It's popped out. Mm-hmm. Anyway, a guy was peppered, so I'm like, hey, listen, I got a first aid kit in the truck, no big deal. And I go into the truck and I open. I got the drawer system, and I pull out the drawer and I pull out the first aid kit, and we open this thing up, and it just one step below going poof. All the plastic, you know exactly what I mean. All the plastic was yellow. It was cracking. I'm like, oh my gosh. This guy was like, I'd be better off just going and finding a branch and just like tying it to myself here and rubbing like dirt on it. After this, I was embarrassed. Probably done the same with your plastics bag, right? Probably done the same with a lot of the stuff that you're finding in the bottom of your tackle bag or your tackle box or in your tackle wells. And you're like, oh my goodness. That thing, if I pick the top of this, or if I open up the little seal at the top, if I open it up, it's just going to break. It's going to just dissolve in my hand. So so those, get rid of them. They're no good. They're garbage. And guess what? You're going to have a better season if you do it. So now, inventory. Write things down while you're doing this. Don't just start tossing them into the trash can. Just inventory them. I like these. I didn't like those. Like these. Boom, boom, boom. Now, start getting online and finding good prices. Look, I used to be such a big fan of let's support the local store and all that. Okay, I do. Sometimes they don't have what I want. Sometimes they're wildly more than it is online. So I need to save money and I need to get what I want. So I shop in different places. So go online. If the store is worth their salt, they've got an ad that'll pop up on Google when you put in some plastic shad, a lure, something like that, and then boom, they'll be up there with the Amazons and things like that, and then they get my business. But anyway, go online, find the best price, and take advantage of any kind of deals that you can, and start to restock. But think about storage now. Maybe you want to get rid of a few of those old boots. I have a pair of boots. I have a pair of Ariats that either need to be resold or thrown away, because it's a hazard now. Because the way I walk, my gait is heavy on the left side heel. So it's to the point now where if I'm not focusing on my steps and I, God forbid, hit something or step on something, my ankle will turn. It's that bad. So I need to get rid of those or just have them resold. I didn't even know resoling was the thing. I'll have to look that up. But maybe you get rid of a pair of boots or things like that, and that frees up closet space for you to properly store your plastics in the off season. See what I'm saying now? Yeah, get it in an airtight bin, and then you're good. So start looking into storage options as well. Pull all that line out, like I said, get those things restrung. And I got to tell you, that is one of the biggest joys to me is cleaning my firearm to get ready for a hunt, or to spool my to spool my reels. That's it. I love it. You sit there, you put a baseball game on, or you put some outdoor channel on, or whatever it is, and just sit there and you're good. Just good. I've got you've got like 9 or 10 of them. So it takes a little while, and you're just happy. This is like Zen time. So it's not that big of a deal. And again, line is what line is, and that's why line isn't super expensive. Line is what it is. So if you are storing your reels with line on it properly, out of anything that's going to make it scenty, then you're okay. Then you're good. You can keep that braided line on there for a hot minute. But the mono and the fluorocarbon, not so much. I don't like it. So I just, better safe than sorry. And you're most likely using it as a leader anyway. So you're not going through a lot of it. But, the braided line, kind of expensive. That's fine. But just, again, you pull the reels off the rods in the off season and store them probably in the same place that you're storing your plastic baits, and you don't have to go through this exercise. And how much of a man am I? Yeah. 11 years I've been telling you this. What do I do this time every year? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make this note right now. It's going to make this note. Look into storage options. Practice what you preach, Michael. Holy cow. Yeah. Going to practice, hopefully practice what I preach, and look into some storage options, because it's that easy. I mean, you just pull the reels right off of the rods and then store them. Genius. Do it, Mike. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But now is the time. Last thing I'm going to tell you and chat with you about today, and appreciate you hanging out. This is the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a world that we live in. I know the rain is what the rain is. It's just off and on. I love it. I absolutely love it. And primary reason why I love it is I get to turn off my irrigation system. I'm like, my irrigation system, I mean, my water bill's cut in half when it rains like this. So I have a lot of landscaping, and it's beautiful, but ain't cheap. Anyway, the rain's what it is. Here's what I do. Call the Arizona fishing guides, call the hookup tackle and the hookup outfitters out in the West Side. Call a guide. I know it sounds weird, but maybe take a couple weeks, maybe a couple paychecks where you set $100 aside, and then you get out there in a half day and you learn the body of water. I can't impress upon you how beneficial that is to your season, how beneficial that is to your just your social media, where you're going to be posting a lot of pictures of fish. Oh, I don't need a guide. Okay, fine. I will outfish you because I will hit that body of water that you say you don't need a guide on, and I will outfish you because I went with a professional that taught me that body of water specifically. We know this in Arizona. Every body of water is different. This isn't the Midwest where you can throw string cheese and get an 8-pound largemouth. This is different here. Invest in the body of water you're going to spend the most time on this summer. Invest in a guide just for a half day. And I'm telling you, be that guy. And I know I know Scooter very well from the Arizona Fishing Guides. He wouldn't mind me saying this. Annoy them. Come with a list of questions and ask as you're throwing baits. And just ask. They're not going to give you their hot spots. They're not going to give you, they probably won't give you their honey hole, but they are going to they really are going to help you and educate you. And that's why having a guide is so important. And that's why having a guide is going to make it a better season for you. Period. Give it a shot. As a matter of fact, if you got like a birthday coming up, or maybe for Father's Day or Mother's Day, say, hey, listen, early Father's Day, Mother's Day gift. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and book a guide, and that's going to be the present from y'all to me, because I'm going to book a guide early. I want to make sure that I'm on, that I get the good spots and get the good dates, and make sure that I am going to learn this body of water, and we are all going fishing, and we're going to have a great time doing it. So, especially the kiddos. There's so many things. And I told you that was the last thing. It's the last thing. It's the next to the last thing adjacent, and we'll go with it. It's fine. For the kiddos, remember, a hunting fishing combo license for your Arizona Game and Fish Department is $5 $5. That's it. $5. You can't get a Happy Meal for $5, but you can get an entire year of hunting and fishing access. And when I'm talking about angling today, is the community fishing program that your Arizona Game and Fish Department has is unreal cool. They stock so many ponds out here, park ponds, community ponds, with trout and catfish. There's no excuse for your kid not catching their first fish this summer. There's no excuse. They've pulled all the stops. But I will tell you this though. Make sure it is a Arizona Game and Fish community pond. Go to their website. They have maps. They have here's all of the bodies of water that you can fish with our community program. And don't look, there are people that are people, and it drives me nuts that there are people there with buckets full of fish, and they just don't bother. Just go down the way and have a good evening or a good morning fishing. But check, because I'm out here in the West Valley, and there's a wonderful pond that's stocked out here in Litchfield Park. But you got to know the right. You can't just have a fishing license. You need to have a LP fishing license to fish in that. And I think it's a couple bucks, but still, remember, ignorance of the law is not a defense. So if you are caught fishing in a body of water, and you need to spend an extra $2 down at the library to get a little stamp on your license to fish in that body of water, look it up. But always the best way to just feel comfortable and confident in where you're fishing is just go to the Game and Fish site and see if you can and you can't. I know it's like, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. Not when they're handing you a ticket. It's not. Not when Karens come running up to you with their, phones, their video on, and they're, you shouldn't be fishing here. Instead of just, hey, did you know you actually can't fish here? I'm not stopping you, but I just wanted to let you know if somebody comes by, the authorities come by, they're going to get you. Yeah. You need to leave right now, young man. Eradication of Karens. Mind your own business or help. How about that? Yeah. Just say, hey, listen, just some friendly advice. They bust people out here for fishing. So just, you do what you do, man. Just you do you. Which we can get into at a different time, but I think you do you is the biggest insult you could probably give anyone. Truth. It is. That's just telling me I don't care about you. You go do you. Whew. Man. I'm going to go do me. How about that? No, y'all don't tell me to go do me. That's not nice. I told you it's rude. It's a mean thing to say. Thank you for hanging out. Hope we had a good conversation. We're going to do this tomorrow at 11 as well. And hey, tune in tonight if you could. We're going to on Russell and Hunter's The Bromance. We're going to have Congressman David Schweikert on. So that'll be at 4:00. And we're going to have a good time with him. So have a great day, everybody. I know this is the cool day where you get to, after the rain, you get to go out and look at the mountains and see all the, just how everything's so clear and wonderful. So get out and have some fun today and enjoy this nice, crisp, clean air that we had thanks to the rain. So remember, we're in false spring number 2 and our second false spring. So don't worry, spring is right around the corner, and then summer will hit us like that. So get ready for it, get your gear ready, and let's get out and have an awesome summer. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow